Hi guys, my name is Ernest. I'd like to welcome us to my channel of Ernest Sciences and Mathematics TV channel. Now, before we dive into our discussion for today, I'd like to request us to kindly go to YouTube and search Ernest Sciences and Mathematics TV channel. Subscribe and engage us on the comment section and invite more friends so that we can be able to form a community of members who are discussing these various topics in mathematics, physics, and chemistry, and also in biology. So for today, we're going to look at this concept of a proportionality constant. Now, in our various discussions in the subject of physics or other sciences and mathematics, we are going to encounter the concept of constants. And this basically are going to be figures or rather some aspects which are going to describe the effect of or the relationship that is going to exist between phenomena which are being compared. And in this particular case, of course, I'm going to create emphasis on one of the discussion we had on the concept of the Coulomb's law. And we had mentioned that Coulomb's law can be described in a form of a vector form, which we had said can be given as K, the product of the charges between the, of course, which are experiencing the force of attraction, and then this is going to be representing the distance between them. Now, figuratively, I can be able to describe these electric charges using Q1 and Q2. And of course, I can be able to give this one for the charges for positive and negative, or in a sense, perhaps just going to leave them at that. So this is one of the particle which is positively charged, and this is one of the particle which is negatively charged. And the distance between these two particles is going to be illustrated as R. So therefore, the relationship or the force that is being experienced, of course, for these two specific particles, I can just be able to give them as force 1 and 2. The force that is being expressed on this particle is due to the presence of this particular particle, and this is going to be the force of attraction. And the force that is going to be experienced by this specific particle for F1 is due to the presence of this specific particle, and that's also going to be the force of attraction. Now we can be able to quantify or describe this relationship between the two particles using this aspect of force, using the relationship that exists for Coulomb's law. And in Coulomb's law, one of the aspects that we have described is the proportionality constant that we are given as K. And as we said, of course, this is the overall Coulomb's law is going to describe the relationship that exists between these two particles insofar as the distance, the charge, and the forces that they experience is concerned. But we never took account of the concept of the medium in which these specific particles were interacting. So in this case, the concept of proportionality is going to come in and to try and cater for that specific aspect. So therefore, I'm going to mention various ways in which you can be able to describe this aspect of the constant of proportionality. And therefore, as we have just illustrated, it takes into account the effect of the medium in which these particular particles are going to, of course, interact. Now, if you try to look at this specific case for the Coulomb law that I've given for just an illustration, just to give it at this point. So Coulomb's law is given as the product of K and the product of the charges between the two particles and the separation distance between them, and R is going to represent this specific vector, the direction of that particular force. So if we try to look at that, then therefore we're going to see that the distance, which sometimes can be represented as R, especially when we are talking about the concept of a gravitational law, we can represent this distance in terms of meters, and then we're going to have the charges being given in form of coulombs. So basically, these are going to be the SI units for these various aspects. So this is going to be a meter for distance, and then coulomb for the charge, and then we can be able to represent the force that I've mentioned above in terms of newtons. So therefore, we can be able to find the illustration of the dimension of this specific force that we are describing, and particularly the constants that I've given, the units for the constants that I've given in that specific formula. So therefore, if we try to look at this specific formula, we had mentioned and defined this concept of the proportionality constant K as the inverse of this specific 4 pi epsilon. Just going to leave that out for a later discussion. So we're given this value for k as the reciprocal of 4 pi epsilon given as such. And we had said that the concept of epsilon represents the permittivity in free space, and which is going to have a value, of course, which is another constant that we're going to see. So this basically is not a permittivity in free space. It's going to be the permittivity in the medium under which these specific charges are going to interact with one another. So therefore, the units for this epsilon is going to be given in terms of a farad per meter. And as I had said, the farads basically are going to be units which are going to be used in measuring what we call a capacitance. We have talked about the concept of capacitance and given in terms of farads. So therefore, we can be able to represent them in terms of just like other quantities using the farads. So therefore, the units which are going to measure the permittivity in the medium are going to be in terms of farads per meter given as such. So there exists a relationship written here, epsilon naught. So there's going to be a difference between what we refer to as epsilon naught, which is given as this symbol, and epsilon, and then therefore we're going to have another variable that is another constant that's going to be referred to as epsilon r, and therefore these are going to represent the permittivity of this is going to represent the permittivity of the medium in which the charges are going to interact, and this is going to be the permittivity of free space, and this is going to be referred to as relative permittivity, or the dielectric constant in which the media with respect to the free space that we're talking about. So therefore, these are permittivity constants. This is going to be a relative one, a relative permittivity of that specific, what we refer to as a dielectric constant. And this is going to be, of course, what we refer to as the absolute permittivity, whereas the first one that we have mentioned as epsilon naught is going to be a permittivity of free space, or what we refer to as the vacuum. So therefore, if we come across them in our various texts, then we're able to see that the subscripts that are accompanying these specific ones, so now for especially for the first and the last one, are going to imply free space relative permittivity respectively. So these specific permittivities are going to be indicated, whereby we're going to have a reference for free space, whereby the epsilon naught is going to be equivalent to 1. So therefore, we're going to have in free space the relationship between what we refer to as the absolute permittivity and relative permittivity. If we're trying to consider the free space, then therefore it's going to be equivalent it's going to be equivalent to absolute permittivity given as such. So therefore, in this particular case, for the Coulomb's law, that is why we have represented this using this specific K, and we can be able to, going to do away with this. We can be able to do a substitution in this specific case to represent the Coulomb's law in terms of that expanded form of that permittivity by giving it as 1 over 4 epsilon naught Q1, Q2 over R squared, and then we're going to have that vector that is going to be represented as such. And therefore, these, as I've said, are various constants which are, of course, known. And in case we come across them, then therefore we're going to create a difference between the two. Now, the emphasis for us is to try and figure out the various units that we're going to use in trying to describe this specific aspect of the permittivity, especially in free space, which we are going to encounter being used heavily in discussion, especially in the concept of charges and point charges and other applications which are related to that specific topic. So in this case, I hope that we're going to create a distinction between this, or in any case, if we come across them, then we're going to apply them appropriately in our various discussion that we're going to have, especially in physics. Now, the relationship that is going to exist between the three is that we can be able to express absolute permittivity as a product of the two, whereby we are going to have it represented as epsilon naught and a relative permittivity given as such. So this is the general representation for that specific case for the relationship that exists between permittivity in free space, absolute permittivity, and the relative permittivity, as we're going to apply them later in our various topics, especially under this topic of discussion for charges as I've mentioned. So catch us in our next video, especially on electrostatic charges and other areas, which are going to, of course, employ this concept of proportionality constant and other related areas. And let's have a healthy discussion on the same. And that is why I like to encourage our members to kindly check in our description boxes for various links which are going to assist us, of course, check on other related content. So that is it for now, guys. Bye. God bless you.